Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to put a spotlight on Buster Keaton. You may be asking, why Buster Keaton? Well, recently, for some unknown reason, I've had a sudden urge to watch silent films. Now, normally when you think of silent films, you would instantly think of Charlie Chaplin and go to him. But as well as Chaplin, the top three I would say were Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd and Fatty Arbuckle. Now this set brings together Fatty Arbuckle and Buster Keaton in a selection of 32 short films. Not all of them feature Arbuckle, but all of them do feature Buster Keaton. In this set is some Eureka entertainment. So why Buster Keaton? Why aren't I watching Charlie Chaplin? Well, I do actually own some Charlie Chaplin. This BFI Mutual Comedies collection. But Charlie Chaplin doesn't really do it for me. Buster Keaton is and probably will always be my favourite silent star. I would just like to say as well that although this box set says the complete short films of Buster Keaton, it actually isn't. While we are very lucky to own pretty much every Buster Keaton film, there is one short that featured Fatty Arbuckle called A Country Hero, which sadly no longer exists, and we're unlikely to ever see it again. Sadly 90% of pre-1929 shorts and features and films don't exist anymore. We'll probably never have a chance to see them unless they're discovered by chance in a cupboard or a loft or in a private collector's hands. Now, the set does come with 4 discs altogether. This is disc 2. This is disc 1. Love the cover art on these, by the way. Great job by Eureka. The box set as well, very sturdy, very tough. No flimsy cardboard. Great piece on your shelf. This is disc 3 and 4. These are the spines. They go 150A, 150B, 150C. The first one heavily features Buster and Arbuckle. The second disc is where you lose Arbuckle, because by this time Buster is set off on his own to start doing his own films, directing them, creating the gags, and arguably, or at least my opinion, Buster's films are much more enjoyable than Arbuckle's. I don't know if this is because I'm mainly here to see Keaton, and in a lot of Arbuckle's he is the second bit player to the films. But lots of great films here. I also like to add, because a lot of these are under 30 minutes, a lot of them range from about 20-minute mark to a 25-minute mark. You could easily watch this full set in a day. I think it totals to 11 hours. About 7,000 minutes, I think it is. 7,740, not 7,000. 7,000, you'd be there for ages. Yeah, 740 minutes, the whole set. And I breezed through them in a day, pretty much. I have 1 disc left, the final disc. Should get that completed any day now. This set comes with a great booklet. Not sure how many pages it is, well over 100. Features behind the scenes pictures, information on gags, stories, behind the scenes. There's a great picture there. Get the glare. Each film has a few pages dedicated to it. Just a lot to learn from a master of his craft, really. Also, Fatty Arbuckle. Bit of a controversial figure because of a party that he attended in the 1920s. It's up for debate, I think, still today, whether he did actually attack this woman. There's a lot of rumours about what may or may not have happened. Personally, I'm not sure what to believe because the story of what happened varies quite drastically, and I've watched a few videos on YouTube, short documentary pieces about it, and I don't know, it's just one of those things. If it's true, it's horrible, and if it's not, then the man's life was pretty much ruined. He could have been up there with Buster, Chaplin, Lloyd, and really seen as a hero and a legend of silent comedies, but because of that one event at this party, his life sort of was ruined. He lost his career. He was due to make a comeback in, I think, the 1930s with a contract with 3 films, but they didn't come about because the night he got the contract, he passed away suddenly of a heart attack. And I believe it was his birthday as well, which is really sad. One of the most interesting special features on this set is actually an audio recording of Keaton, which was recorded at a party during the 1960s. Keaton did live into the 60s, so there are recordings of him talking about his films, luckily, that still survive, and it's just a great insight because you don't really have a voice in these movies to match to the man, but luckily when it comes to Keaton, he did document his life pretty well in interviews, which I think are featured on some other sets, but you can find snippets and full interviews with him on YouTube, which is really great if you want extra insight. And it's really weird hearing his voice, to be honest. There is a short documentary, Buster Rides Again, which is behind the scenes making of one of his final films, which he made in the 60s, and he is talking to the director about what the gag actually is compared to what the director thinks it is. The director has one opinion, Buster has the other one. Now if I was that director, I would take Buster's opinion, but I think he did finally get his word in and have the scene done his way. Buster, that is, not the director, but yeah, really interesting stuff. Now, the difference between this set and any other releases is these are the best these films have ever looked. You can find them all, if not all of them, on YouTube, but the quality is not in these films' favours on YouTube, especially because a lot of these films centre around visual gags. I'd highly recommend watching these films in the best quality you can, and when it comes to these films, I believe this box set is the best quality you can watch these in.